your story. Say your sorries. It's bacchanal like carnival day. Well, dida-doy, dida-day, bacchanal pressure. Dida-da-da-day-day, day-doy. Light bill gone up, groceries gone up, water rate gone up, telecoms gone up. I can't take it. Gone up, gone up, gone up.
Wondering as I sat by the river, what had become of the running water? Where was the basin where I used to swim? As a young boy, it vanished, it seemed. But the answer was right before me. For as far as the naked eye see, every acre in this great valley was pure banana country. As you see, when green gold was king, we cut forests without thinking, compromise our water supply, so that is why our rivers run dry. So if this is development, please tell me where's the improvement? Because instead of progress, I see we regressing rapidly. Die, die. While we chasing silver and gold, the losing its very soul. And from where I stand, I can see development killing we.
1 minute. It's exactly 6 o'clock in the studios of DBS Radio. The time compliments of the good folks at Caribbean Alliance. Have you called Caribbean Alliance as yet? If you've not given them a call, pick up that phone. Give them a call today. We head to the evening news right here, right now on DBS.
Fair and balanced, unbiased and clear, concise and accurate. This is the DBS Evening News. Here now is your presenter with the headlines.
In the headlines, staff at the Dominica State College stage protest action today. In news from the region, CARICOM leaders agreed to implement sweeping reforms to education, security, and digital technology. And internationally, French president meets U.S. President Donald Trump. Good evening, I am Leila Langford. Details of the news when we return.
You asked for it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay.
Flow FastPay. 2 minutes and you're on your way. Flow FastPay.
Flow is keeping you connected.
DBS News.
Welcome back. Some classes at the Dominica State College were disrupted today due to a protest by the staff. The staff staged the protest action in response to ongoing issues at the institution. DBS News can confirm that officials from the Dominica State College have met with the staff and are currently waiting for a response from the Board of Governors regarding the concerns raised. However, the officials officials at the Dominica State College have chosen not to comment on this at this time. In other news, an agro park is set to be established in Dominica. Minister for Agriculture Roland Roye made the announcement during the opening ceremony of the annual general meeting of the National Association of Youth in Agriculture this morning. Roye says this will introduce new technologies to young farmers and also promote the sale of locally produced foods in Dominica.
The government is planning the development of an agro park that will serve as a center for the commercial production of high-end vegetables. This park will incorporate cutting-edge technologies, including artificial intelligence and smart agriculture, to improve efficiency, reduce costs, and promote sustainability. The park will not only serve as a commercial hub, but also as a training ground for young farmers. Here, you will have the opportunity to learn about best practices in modern agriculture, including hydroponics, aquaculture, and aquaponics, which are growing fields with immense potential. We see NAYA as a key partner in this initiative, and your involvement will be critical in ensuring its success. By working closely with NAYA and your leadership, we'll ensure that this agro-park becomes a key site for innovation, education, and empowerment for young farmers. We also recognize that as young people in agriculture, you have unique insights and ideas that can help us rethink traditional farming methods and develop new solutions to emerging challenges. That is why we are committed to listening to you, engaging with you, and building an agriculture sector that reflects your vision for the future.
Minister for Agriculture Roland Roye. CEO of Dominica's International Airport Project, Samuel Johnson, says the introduction of United Airlines flights has generated greater interest in the country. United Airlines is conducting direct flights from New Jersey into Dominica on Saturdays. Johnson says the higher interest will boost the aim of getting 100,000 stayover visitors to Dominica in 1 year.
With the announcement of the United, we are actually getting more attention, and instead of the pie being fixed and redistributed, the pie is actually growing. In terms of the impact on the other airlines, we have seen that instead of American reducing flights, they've doubled their service on Saturdays, the very same Saturday that United is coming in on. And you also have Silver coming later, and then Caribbean Airlines coming in. If you were to go and try to book flights on that Saturday, which is the days that you have the most competition, you'll realize that those days are actually the most booked days. So I think the more direct flights you bring in, the easier you make it for visitors to come, the more awareness the destination gets. You can only grow. I mean, if you look at the Caribbean region as a whole, in 2019, over 30 million stayover visitors came to the Caribbean. Dominica, which was one of our best years, we are 89,000. So the steps that we're taking right now is accelerating that growth that we need, and we've set the target that we've set for ourselves.
Meantime, Johnson says they are already securing airlines to service Dominica upon completion of the international airport.
You look at what your competitors or your other peer companies are doing, and you learn from it. So I think we've learned from the St. Vincent experience very closely, in that you don't build the airport and then go look for the airlines. Otherwise, you'd have a nice big structure sitting down for 2-3 years before you have those relationships being made. We're in a position now that not only we have one, which is American, but you also have United. And what that does for us, with every successive one you get, it moves the goalposts and makes it easier for the next airline to come. So with American Airlines, we proved that the route was viable using Embraer 175s. These are regional jets with 76 seats. With the United Airlines now, we have now proved that with a Boeing 737, unencumbered, no weight restriction, you could fly direct between New York and Dominica. So that just opens up the field. And when you sit down across the table with the airlines and you tell them who's flying, then a lot of the technical pushback that you would have gotten in the past, that conversation becomes a lot easier. And then I know a lot of folks complained in the past about American Airlines and ticket prices and how the tickets were very high. But actually that works in our favor because that information becomes public information 1 year later. So all the airlines can now see what is the average revenue per passenger. And again, the higher that is initially, it's better for you because it shows how attractive the route is.
CEO of Dominica's International Airport Project, Samuel Johnson. A new partnership has been established between JD's Naturals and hermatologist Dominican-born Asher Martin to provide skin and hair care products for cancer patients in St. Lucia. This collaboration forms part of the Caribbean Business Cruise.
This new partnership in St. Lucia was made possible through the Caribbean Business Cruise 2025 on MSC Cruise Line, organized by Eastern Asia Consulting from Guadeloupe and supported by the OECS Commission. One of the key collaborations is with Dominican-born Dr. Asha Mate, an oncologist specializing in St. Lucia, committed to providing clean, non-toxic skincare solutions for her cancer patients. So through this partnership, we at JD's Naturals will supply safe, plant-based products specially formulated for her patients undergoing treatments like chemotherapy and radiation. But beyond that, these products will also be a perfect solution for newborn babies, toddlers, and kids, as well as individuals suffering from skin sensitivities and skin conditions like dermatitis and eczema, offering gentle, nourishing care without the harmful chemicals. We will also expand this initiative to Dominica, where we'll be working soon with the Dominica Cancer Society to provide the same. Plus, these products will also be available to the wider public in the coming months, ensuring clean beauty and holistic wellness accessible to everyone. They will be available soon at Zeb Creole in the Old Market. This is an exciting step toward promoting safe, natural skin and hair care across the region.
Owner of JD's Naturals, Judy Dangaben. 4 schools have advanced to the semi-final competition of the Inter-Secondary Schools Debating Competition. The semi-finals of the Inter-Secondary Schools Debating Competition is set for March 18, 2025. Trudy Christian is the organizer of the competition.
The round 2 of the Inter-Secondary Schools Debating Competition concluded last week, and it saw the emergence of 4 schools making it to the semi-finals. In one of the debates in round 2, the Wesley High School took on the Orion Academy, and the Orion Academy won, and so that school is making it to the semifinals. In another debate in round 2, the Dominica Grammar School took on the St. Martin Secondary School, and the Dominica Grammar School won, so the Dominica Grammar School is making it to the semis. In the third and final debate, the Pierre Charles Secondary School took on the Portsmouth Secondary School, and the Portsmouth Secondary School won, so the Portsmouth Secondary School moves to the semis. And also, the last school to round up the 4 is the Pierre Charles Secondary School, since their margin of defeat in their debate was narrower than in the other debates. So moving to the semifinals, we have the Orion Academy, the Dominica Grammar School, the Portsmouth Secondary School, and the wildcard, the Pierre Charles Secondary School. These 4 schools will engage in debate come March 18th, which is when the semifinals are carded for.
Organizer of the Inter-Secondary Schools Debating Competition, Trudy Christian. In the feature segment of the DBS Evening News, we highlight a Dominican who has excelled at the Caribbean Baking Awards in Tortola. Sharian Alexander George copped the award for Best Cookie Art.
Well, the bakers in this category have pushed the boundaries of what we think a cookie can be. So it's not any ordinary cookie. It's not any cookie you can get at Walmart or at the supermarket down the road. It's some real special, unique cookie. And that's why they are receiving the award. Let's take a look at some of the nominees for Best Cookie Art.
The nominees are Anna
Frascatto, Trinidad and Tobago. Brookie's Cookies, Cayman Islands. Christian Richardson, St. Martin. Cookie Queen from Grenada. And Sherian Alexander George from Dominica.
And the winner for Best Cookie Art, drum roll, drum roll, drum roll. And the winner is Sherian Alexander George, Dominica. Round of applause, Sherian Alexander George, Dominica. Sherian Alexander George, Dominica. Sherian Alexander George, Dominica. Sherian.
First of all, I'd like to thank God first and foremost for giving me the talent and the patience to do what I do, because if you know about customized cookies, it takes a lot of patience. Also, I'd like to thank my family, my support system, especially my husband. Without them, I don't know if I would still be doing it, because some days I feel like giving up. And also, I'd like to thank everyone who voted for me back home and abroad. I really appreciate that. And also to my customers, thank you for sharing, for telling. It was great to see my face all over Facebook. And also thank you to the Caribbean Baking Awards for awarding me with this experience.
Winner of the Best Cookie at the Caribbean Baking Awards, Sherian Alexander George. And that's the National Focus, Regional and International Developments up next.
You asked for it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay.
Flow Fast Pay. 2 minutes and you're on your way. Flow Fast Pay. Flow Fast Pay.
Flow is keeping you connected.
DBS News.
In news from the region, CARICOM leaders have announced plans for sweeping reforms across multiple sectors, including education, regional integration, and digital technology, following their 48th regular meeting, which concluded during the wee hours of Friday. One of the major decisions was that CARICOM has approved a protocol for enhanced cooperation that will allow smaller groups of member states to implement freedom of movement initiatives beginning June 1st without requiring a united agreement. The initiative will grant CARICOM nationals access to primary and secondary school education, emergency health care, and primary health care in participating countries. And internationally, French President Emmanuel Macron says peace must not mean a surrender of Ukraine during a news conference alongside U.S. President Donald Trump at the White House. The two leaders have been meeting to discuss the war in Ukraine on the third anniversary of Russia's full-scale invasion of the country. Trump says the cost and burden of securing peace must be paid for by the nations of Europe, not just by the U.S. And that's news at the DBS Evening Sports Report. Up next with Gavin Richards.
Covering the nation and beyond. DBS Sports Report.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Well, good evening. I'm Gavin Richards with the DBS Evening Sports Report. We're bowling off with cricket news. And Janelia Glasgow got a half century as the Windward Islands women's open up their campaign in the CG United Women's Regional Super 50 Overs tournament on Monday with a victory. Well, the Leewards batted first and they were bowled out for just 93 runs. Afi Fletcher, she picked up 5 for 15 for the Windwards. Amir Gilbert 2 for 25 and Pearl Etienne 1 for 11. The Windward Islands in reply they made 94 for 2 in 13.5 overs. Janila Glasgow got 55 not out. Zeta James 21. The Windward Islands winning by 8 wickets. So the Windward Islands women's team starting off the CG United Women's Regional Super 50 Overs tournament with an emphatic win over the Leeward Islands, winning that game by 8 wickets this afternoon in St. Kitts. Well, elsewhere, the West Indies women's player Aliyah Aline had a good all-round game, leading Barbados to a victory over Guyana. Barbados made 183 for 5 in their 50 overs. Kishona Knight got 54 and Aliyah Aline 57. Guyana were bowled out for 172. Sherman Campbell top scored with 25, and we had Aliyah Aline taking 2 for 21 for the Barbados team. Barbados winning that game by 11 runs. And Jamaica, they also secured a 51-run win over Trinidad and Tobago. Rashada Williams got 51 and Stephanie Taylor 49 as Jamaica made 223 batting first. Anicia Mohammed, the former West Indies player, she took 3 for 34, and Karishma Ramarak 2 for 42 for the Trinidad team. Trinidad in search of 224 to win. They were bowled out for 172. Karishma Ramarak, she got 32. And we had Vanessa Watts taking 3 for 34 for Jamaica. Jamaica winning that game quite comfortably by 51 runs. While the women's tournament will continue on Wednesday with the Windward Islands playing Barbados. Trinidad will take on the Leeward Islands and Guyana will take on Jamaica. We're staying with cricket news this evening as Lendell Simmons hit a powerful unbeaten half-century to guide the West Indies Masters to a crushing win over Australia as the International Masters T20 League continued today in India. The Australian Masters batted first. They made 216 for 8 in their 20 overs. Shane Watson top scored for 107. Ashley Nurse, he picked up 3 for 16 for the West Indies. Ravi Rampal also provided some support, taking 2 for 23. Jerome Taylor 2 for 49 and Dwayne Smith 1 for 42. While the West Indies hit 220 for 3 in 19.2 overs to win the match by 7 wickets. Lendell Simmons, he got 94 not out from 44 balls with 6 fours and 8 sixes. Dwayne Smith, 51 of 29 balls. And Brian Lara, he made 33. While the West Indies, their next match will be on Thursday against the England Masters. We're staying in cricket news this evening as the Windward Islands Volcanoes captain Alec Athanaze believes that the batters need to raise their hands as they look to rebound following their slow start to the regional 4-day tournament. While the Windwards have not managed a win after 3 games, and Athanaze is hoping that the addition of Shama Springer to the squad will help. The all-rounder has not featured so far in the tournament due to injury.
We had 2 losses, yes, in 3 games. But I think it's important that the guys and them stick together, and I think we wasn't at full strength, to be honest. I was away, Springer was away, and some of the other guys were away. So I think it gives the guys a bit more confidence that we came in. Obviously, we didn't have much of a game in Dominica. It rained for almost 3 days. So hence the reason, I guess we didn't really get some scores or put some points on the board. So yes, he's expected to be back. I think we don't know when exactly, but hopefully for the next game. Yeah, but I think we just need to, I guess, like him like say, be a bit more consistent, put some bigger totals on the board. I guess given the condition of the ball, that it doesn't do much for the Pacers, I guess. I think we set up more decent plans, I guess, for our spinners, be a bit more consistent and take whatever chances come to us. I think we can't really afford now to, I guess, slip away because it's halfway through the season already. But like I said, we coming back, and hopefully the guys that came back from injury and from West Indies too could stand up.
and that's the Windward Islands Volcanoes captain Alec Athenes. In some track and field news, a few personal bests but no qualifiers for the athletes from the Westmore Rangers at the second Carifta Trials in Guadeloupe last weekend. Well, Michael Titt, Nicole Williams, Nathan Wright, and Dre George all recorded personal bests in their respective events, but none were able to meet the Carifta marks for the games slated later this year in Trinidad and Tobago. Well, Alika St. John, she got her season's best in the discus event, throwing a distance of 41.71 meters, and a season best in the shot put, throwing a season's best of 11.17 meters. Michael Titt took part in the under-20 boys discus, and he recorded a personal best of 41.10 meters, and he also set a personal best in the shot put, throwing 12.91 meters. Nicole Williams, she took part in the under-17 girls javelin. She threw a personal best of 32.24 meters and also threw a personal best in the discus event, recording a mark of 21.25 meters. We also had Nathan Wright, who took part in the under-17 boys discus. He too had a personal best mark of 30.53 meters. He also took part in the long jump, recording a personal best there of 5.75 meters and a personal best in the javelin event of 30.52 meters. So good all-round athlete there, Nathan Wright, participating in the under-17 boys. Jelani Moses took part in the under-20 boys 5,000 meter race. He completed it in a time of 19.09 minutes. And also Gordisha Joseph took part in the discus, under-20 girls discus, and she threw 30.28 meters, and she threw a season's best in the shot put of 10.29 meters. Dre George took part in the under-20 boys javelin, and he had a personal best of 39.49 meters, and he did not finish the 5,000 meter race. And the final athlete, Noah Davis, he took part in the triple jump, and that's in the under-20 boys triple jump, recorded a season's best of 11.26 meters. Well, so far only two Dominicans have qualified for the Carifta Games. They are sprinter Karel Etienne, who will represent Dominica in the 100 and 200 meter events, and the javelin thrower, the former Carifta Games medalist, Addison James. Let's go back to some cricket news, as there was a century for Rasheen Ravindra as New Zealand beat Bangladesh as the ICC Champions Trophy continued today. Bangladesh 236 for 9 in their 50 overs. That's what they got batting first. Najmul Shantu, top scorer of 77. Michael Bracewell was the most successful bowler for New Zealand. He picked up 4 for 26. While New Zealand in reply, they made 240 for 5, with Ravindra getting 112 and Tom Latham 55. New Zealand winning that game comfortably by 5 wickets. So the Champions League will continue tomorrow. South Africa will take on Australia. That's shaping up to be a big encounter, and that game will get underway at 5 a.m. Caribbean time tomorrow morning. And in some football news, well, the national women's under-20 football team, they suffered their second straight defeat in the CONCACAF Women's Under-20 qualifiers in Trinidad as they went down to the host country Trinidad last night. Dominica, after conceding 22 goals in their opening match against Canada on Friday, where they put on a much better performance against Trinidad, but they still suffered another heavy defeat. Dominica, they were down 4-0 at the half, and then they conceded 3 more goals in the second half to lose that match 7-0. So the result leaves Dominica without a point after 2 matches. The team has also conceded 29 goals in the process. The Dominica will play their final match in the group tomorrow when they take on Bermuda at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. In the other match in Group E last night, well, Canada beat Bermuda 9-0. So Canada, they're on top of the group with 6 points and a superior goal difference. Trinidad, they're second on 6 points as well. Bermuda is third, and Dominica fourth. And like we said, Dominica will play Bermuda in their final match, while Trinidad will play Canada. And Trinidad will need to win by a very huge margin, over 20 goals, if they're to top Canada in the end on the group. So that's the DBS Evening Sports Report. Of course, you heard the news with Leila Langford. On behalf of the entire News and Sports Department, our links person, DJ Halo Boy, I'm Gavin Richards saying good evening.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe, and Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins, and bidets. PVC piping, fittings, and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
DBS Radio gives you top quality service over any other for live streaming of funerals. Call us today at 448-3282.
Good evening and welcome to the evening edition of the DBS Radio Community Bulletin Board. It's the 24th day of February 2025. We'll begin with this evening's edition of the DBS Radio Deaf announcements on the DBS Radio Community Bulletin Board. We announce the death of Andy Emoba Chevier, age 41, of Canefield. He died on Wednesday, the 5th of February 2025. He was the son of Alban Chevier and Vixia Henderson Morrison. He will also be remembered by his siblings Vince, Aaliyah, Beata, K. Ian, Aliko, Vernella, Verlana, Jeron, and Jervon. His niece and nephew, grandmother Evelyn Lena Etienne, aunts Thelma, Cecilia, Ellen, Clesia, and Karen, uncles Laura, Ellie, Brian, Keith, and Delvey. Many cousins, too numerous to mention. The body of the late Andy Emoba Chevier of Canefield will be viewed on Tuesday, the 25th of February 2025 from 1:30 p.m. at the St. Martin, the Poorest Roman Catholic Church in Canefield. The funeral mass takes place at 2 p.m. and will be followed by interment at the Maho Public Cemetery. We announce announce the death of Catherine Francis, better known as Bourbon, age 76, of Scott's Head. She